By clear comprehension, we must understand mindfulness, because the two, sati and sambhajana, go together. Without mindfulness, there can be no clear comprehension. But although clear comprehension is always accompanied by mindfulness, there can be mindfulness without clear comprehension. So we should be aware that they are linked by concentration. Without concentration, clear comprehension cannot arise. Mindfulness develops concentration, and concentration develops clear comprehension, which is knowledge or wisdom. At the beginning of our practice, there may not be clear comprehension. Initially, the meditator must make effort just to be mindful of the object. You may not see clear comprehension clearly at first. It can take time to see that there is only nama and rupa. There are only mind and matter going on at the moment, with no I or any other entity as agent. But with the development of your mindfulness, you will come to see that only the two things, mind and matter, are going on at a given moment, and there is no individual, no person, no doer. If you are familiar with the discourse on the 4 foundations of mindfulness, you will have noticed that walking and other bodily activities are mentioned more than once. The second session, Iryapata, postures of the body, mention walking or going, standing, sitting, and lying down. And the third section on clear comprehension first refers to going forward and going back. Later on, it lists walking, standing, sitting, and lying down. The third section on clear comprehension first refers to going forward and going back. Later on, it notes walking, standing, sitting, and sleeping. Our practice is according to these two sections on mindfulness with the clear comprehension and on postures of the body. As the commentary explained, the activities mentioned can be divided into 3 categories. those of long duration, middle duration, and short duration. Whatever the durations, we must be mindful of all of them. So we practice mindfulness in order to come to see clearly that there are only two things, mind and matter, going on at a time, and that over and above mind and matter, there is no soul, no person, no individual, no I. And Maha-Satipatthana Sutta continues, thus meditator dwells contemplating the body in the body internally, or he dwells contemplating the body in the body externally, or he dwells contemplating the body in the body internally and externally. He dwells contemplating the origination factors, samudaya dhamma nupasiva, kaya samay, the origination factors in the body, or he dwells contemplating the dissolution factors in the body, vaya dhamma nupasiva, or he dwells contemplating the dissolution factors in the body, or he dwells contemplating both origination and dissolution factors in the body. Or his mindfulness is established as there is this body only, atikayati, and that mindfulness is established to the extent necessary to further knowledge and mindfulness, independent, he dwells, clinging to nothing in the world. Nacha kenji loke upadiyati, anisitoja viharati, nacha kenji loke upadiyati. How does meditator contemplate the body in the body, internally, externally, and both internally and externally? When you are mindful of the activities going on in your own body, you are practicing body contemplation internally. After seeing the activities in yourself clearly, understanding that they are only elements and there is no person or other entity, you may turn attention to the activities of others. Then you may infer that just as your own activities are only pure phenomena rolling on and on without a doer, so maybe those of others you may infer. In this way, sometimes you may infer the activities of others from those of yourself. This is practicing body contemplation on the body externally. At times, you may practice it both internally and externally, by alternating the awareness of your own activities with the inference of another person's activities. Going back and forth in this way, you are said to be practicing both internally and externally. Practicing thus, meditator reach the stage of clear comprehension of non-delusion, Maha-Satipatthana. Then you dwell contemplating the origination factors in the body, or you dwell contemplating both the origination and dissolution factors in the body. This means that while you are being mindful of the activities, you may also see the causes of these activities, the causes of different postures of the body, and you see that because there is the mind, there is the action. And if you have knowledge of other Dhamma teaching, that knowledge can be applied here. What are the causes of arising of this body? Because there is ignorance, there is avijja, there is this body. Because there is craving, there is this body. Because there is karma, there is this body. Because there is food that we eat, this body exists. In this way, you may practice meditation on the causes of arising of the body, samudaya dhamma nupasi. So these are the causing factors. The causes of arising of this body. Can you follow me? Because there is ignorance, avijja, there is this body. Because there is ignorance, avijja, there is this body. Because there is craving tanha, there is this body. Because there is craving tanha, there is this body. Because there is karma, there is this body. Because there is karma, there is this body. Because there is food that we eat, this body exists. Because there is food that we eat, this body exists. So these are the causing factors, causes of arising of this body. Because there is ignorance, not knowing the true nature, not knowing the Four Noble Truths. Because there is craving tanha, because there is karma, there is this body, and because there is food that we eat, this body exists. In this way, you may practice meditation on the causes of arising of the body, samudaya dhamma nupasi. So there are no such causes. When there are no such causes, there is no body. You also may contemplate the vanishing of the body through the vanishing of the causes. At times, you may be aware of the causes of both arising and dissolution, samudaya dhamma nupasiva and vaya dhamma nupasiva. According to late most venerable Maha-Sayadaw, it is sufficient just to see the arising, the disappearing, or the arising and disappearing of the body. It is sufficient to see. For there is what is meant by contemplating the origination, the dissolution, or the origination and dissolution of the body. In practice, this direct approach is more appropriate. To see the causes while you are concentrating on the activities of the body is more difficult than to see just their arising and vanishing. Maha-Sayadaw said, when mindfulness is fully applied to the activities, you cannot fail to see them arise and disappear. Seeing the arising is the same as contemplating the origination of the body. Seeing the disappearing is the same as contemplating the dissolution. And seeing both arising and disappearing is the same as contemplating both the origination and dissolution. So this approach of direct observation of rise and fall of phenomena shows that this practice is vipassana, not samatha meditation. Only vipassana do you see the arising and disappearing of phenomena. Samatha meditation does not encourage seeing arising and vanishing. Samatha meditation encourages the notion of permanency. And Maha-Satipatthana Sutta continue, all his mindfulness is established as there is the body only, and that mindfulness is established to the extent necessary to further knowledge and mindfulness. When you see in this way and see nothing over and above this body, then the understanding comes to you that there is the body only, there is no person, there is no man, there is no woman, there is no I, there is no soul or any other living entity. This understanding, accompanied by mindfulness, strengthens the succeeding moments of mindfulness and understanding. Nacha kenji loke ubadiyati anesi toja viharati. meditator understands this way, he or she does not cling to anything. He or she is not dependent on anything by way of grasping, attachment, or wrong view. Independent meditator dwells, clinging to nothing in the world. Thus, a bhikkhu dwells, contemplating the body in the body. When meditator practice mindfulness meditation on activities of the body or in objects, first you will see them clearly, then you will see them arising and disappearing. When you see the arising and disappearing of these activities and objects, you see their impermanence. Seeing this way, there is no room for you to be attached to them or to take them as permanent. And the practice of mindfulness leads to not grasping or clinging to anything in the world. So we practice vipassana meditation in order not to cling to the objects presented to us through our six sense doors. For when there is clinging, when there is upadana, there is karma bhava, there is action dependent on the clinging. Whether the action is in the form of wholesome karma or unwholesome karma, it will surely result in the form of rebirth, jati. And with rebirth, with jati, there is the inevitability of aging, sickness, and death. So when there is clinging, the cycle of suffering goes on and on and on. In order to avoid clinging to things, we try to apply mindfulness. With mindfulness and later with clear comprehension of things, we will be able to let go of phenomena to free ourselves from clinging to them and grasping at them. So the knowledge and capacity to achieve this freedom grows when you meditate. For this reason, we must understand correctly the passage in the discourse on the four foundations of mindfulness, Maha-Satipatthana Sutta. In the beginning of the Sutta, it is said that a bhikkhu, a meditator dwells contemplating the body in the body, the feeling in the feeling, the consciousness in the consciousness, the Dhamma in the Dhammas, ardently, clearly comprehending and mindful, removing desire and discontent in the world. This passage is often translated as having removed or having overcome desire and discontent. But it is not having removed. Meditators who has removed desire and discontent does not have to practice meditation at all because he already has achieved his or her purpose. So the appropriate translation is, he dwells contemplating the body in the body, etc., removing desire and discontent in the world. That means simultaneous removal. When being mindful of the breath or any other object, you are removing, you are avoiding attachment, desire and ill will with regard to that object. This removal of desire and discontent arises simultaneously with your practice of meditation. If your mindfulness is good, sometimes we lose mindfulness and then we may have thoughts of attachment or anger. But if mindfulness is really strong, these mental defilements will not arise. While practicing mindfulness meditation, we are in one sense removing these mental defilements. But we have not removed them altogether and permanently. Only during the time we are applying mindfulness have we removed them. But when mindfulness is lost, mental defilements will return to our mind. So here, removing does not mean getting rid of them altogether or absolutely. It is only a temporary removal. So this is the teaching on clear comprehension, sampajañña. Clear comprehension is to be applied to all activities from the moment you wake up in the early morning until you go to sleep at night. It is not to be excluded when you are taking shower, not when you are using the toilet and bathroom, not when you are eating, not when you are walking. Whatever activity you do must be done with full awareness. So you have to apply mindfulness to all of your activities so that the reality in them may be seen. When you see the reality in them, you are said to have reached the stage of clear comprehension of non-delusion in these activities. So this clear comprehension of non-delusion will lead you step by step until you reach the stage of enlightenment. Now 2 months intensive retreat, you are practicing very energetically, diligently, you comprehend clearly, and your clear comprehensions of non-delusion will lead you surely, step by step, until you reach the stage of your enlightenment. You need to practice more diligently. Then we go to another section. Let us go to Dhatu Manasikara, reflection on the material elements. And Buddha said, again, bhikkhus, a meditator reflect upon this very body just as it is placed or disposed with regard to its primary elements. There are in this body the earth element, the water element, the fire elements, and the air elements. As a skillful butcher or his apprentice, having slaughtered a cow and divided it into portions, was sitting at the junction of four highways, just so a meditator reflects upon this very body, just as it is placed or disposed with regard to its primary elements. There are in this body the earth element, the water element, the fire elements, and the air elements. So Dhatu Manasikara, four great elements. Can you follow me? In this body, there are the earth elements, the water element, the fire elements, and the air elements. In this body, there are the earth element, the water element, the fire elements, the air elements. Patavi Dhatu, Apo Dhatu, Tejo Dhatu, Vayo Dhatu. Just you need to understand, you need to comprehend four elements clearly. If you comprehend four elements clearly, you can attain enlightenment. Dhatu Manasikara. So this session in this Sutta talks about these material elements and how meditators should reflect on their body. Whatever postures you might be assuming, whether you are sitting or walking or standing or lying down, you will reflect on your body with respect to these four primary elements. Here among the 32 parts of the body, from head hair to brain, altogether 20 are said to be earth elements. Because hardness or softness is predominant there, and from bile to urine, altogether 12 are said to be water element, because trickling or fluidity is predominant there. Fire elements is divided into 4, and the air elements is divided into 6. So traditionally, there are 4 material elements: the earth elements, water elements, the fire elements, the air elements. Meditation on these four elements is mentioned only briefly in this sutta. It is meant for meditators with quick understanding. That is for people of quick intelligence. Whenever the Buddha delivered a sermon, he looked at the likes and dislikes of his listener and also whether or not their minds were mature. Only after investigating this, Buddha delivered his sermon according to the situation. So in some suttas, Buddha went into more details, but in this sutta, Maha-Satipatthana Sutta, the topic is treated very briefly. The purpose of this kinds of meditation is to remove the concept of a being or seeing yourself and others as being. To remove this concept, you need to practice meditation of mentally dividing your body into four parts and seeing them separately, each as one of the four elements that are called Mahabhuta, great elements. The first element, the earth element, does not mean the earth as you know it. It means something that is inherent in the earth, and of course in other things as well. The state of being of the earth, or the quality of stiffness, hardness, or softness, that are the characteristics of the earth element. It is stated in the scripture that these four elements are found everywhere in sentient beings, as well as in plants and inanimate objects. The characteristics of stiffness or hardness or softness are what here are called the earth element. When you touch the water, how do you feel? When you touch the water, you feel some kinds of softness, and that softness is the earth element. When you feel the wind blowing in your face, how do you feel? When you feel the wind blowing in your face, you feel some kinds of hardness or softness, and that is the earth elements. You find these earth elements everywhere. What is the function of the earth elements? The functions of earth elements is to act as a foundation, something on which something else is resting or exists. To practitioner of vipassana who meditate on the earth elements, it manifests itself as receiving or accepting. So you must understand the earth elements according to its characteristics or function or manifestation. So practicing meditation is to understand these characteristic, function, and manifestation of these phenomena. To repeat, The characteristics of earth elements are hardness or softness. The functions of earth elements is to act as foundation, and its manifestation are receiving or accepting something. So in the Asivisopama Sutta, Buddha mentioned these four elements are compared to the four poisonous snakes. These four poisonous snakes of these four elements are very dangerous. So to escape from aging, sickness, and death, you need to contemplate, you need to observe these four elements very precisely to escape from the dangers of aging, sickness, and death. To attain enlightenment, it is very important to observe clearly and correctly the four elements. So we will continue next time. We have to stop our discourse for today. By practicing vipassana meditation, by observing every phenomena occurring at the six senses, by noting rising, falling, sitting, standing, stretching, bending, seeing, hearing continuously and meticulously. May all yogis be liberated from all suffering. May all yogis realize the real peace in the very near future. So